Hello people, here's just a short video to show a little something I did for the Black Falcons. Now, in my first video I was showing the peasant militia, and I made them without a distinct colour scheme so that they could look like peasants, you know, militia for any faction. But here's something specifically for Black Falcons. Now, if you have these Mandalorian legs, and you use them with any of the dark tan torsos that I was using with those militia, like the Hoth and the Viking torsos, you get this really neat design for like a long quilted tabard. And it's a great base to begin making some Black Falcon ranges. I'm also using some other elements like this Rey torso from Star Wars, which looks great, but Bard from The Hobbit is perfect. He's easily like the captain of the Rangers. Yeah, he needs a name. Archie? I don't know. It's a bit on the nose. Archie. Archibald. Yes. Archibald Swift. This is the captain of the range. Anyway, you can use like there's lots of dark blue hats that are good for commoners, especially these hoods, which are just perfect for rangers. But yeah, as a whole, I think they look pretty sweet, especially with some professional Black Falcon archers in there. Also, yeah, thoughts of this little build I did for some archer stakes. I think it's pretty effective. I'd show you how it's done, but it's pretty simple. You can figure it out. You just use a hinge plate and those nubbins, whatever, I don't know. Yeah, initially I'd made these guys thinking they'd make a good Night's Watch for the peasants. And you could also use them as a Crown Knight militia. I just haven't built up the Crown Knight army, and I kind of manhandled them when I was a kid, so they're not in good condition. But it's consistent with my lore, you see, because the Crown Knights, they would never empower their peasantry that much. They're far too elitist for that. They're a banker's realm. But it was of course the Black Falcons who, after having lost a bitter war against King Leo in which many of their nobility perished, they became the first round to professionalise the military, to fill in the gap left by the fallen knights, and in this process the kingdom standardised much of their kit and armour. I sort of came up with this just to make use of a lot of black helmets that I had so that they could look like a standardised military. But it's aesthetically appropriate because when you've got them all on the march, they look like this dark flood that's about to wash away your kingdom. Yeah, also the reforms, like they prioritise the speed of the armies, and I think these windswept Dragon Master helmets, they give them that look, and it just goes really well with the aesthetics of the Black Falcons, you know. And yeah, I mean, I may as well show them proper. I've worked in some old torsos for a little variation. I'm quite chuffed with the champion here. He's using like this Ninjago shoulder armor and a tournament helm with the Lone Ranger Crow. He's also carrying the faction's flag. I got this from Custom Bricks Tim on Instagram. He's really good. He does capes too. This one I've given to the king. This is King Flavius, right? He came up with the reforms, so he has this cunning look about him. Right? He doesn't look much like royalty, but that's because he's a noble, right? Who saved the kingdom with his reforms, but usurped the throne in the process, right? But this is a lore for another time. Probably will be the Bull Knights for the next video. Anyway, ta-ta and farewell.